So I'll send a follow-up email with just what the law says on this matter, and if you could show that to your supervisor.
Hey, Dustin, this is Safeway Insurance. I was giving you a call in regards to...
Yes, in regards to the rental and the loss of use situation, have you guys discussed that with him?
Let me see. No, it looks like when I tried to talk to him about the loss of use, I wasn't able to make contact with him, but he has since sent a text message. But regarding the loss of use, since this vehicle is not repairable, we do limit loss of use on total loss vehicles. The standard normally is about 7 days. We typically do it at $30 per day, but I am willing to offer the $35 per day at 7 days. Since the vehicle is non-repairable, we typically only owe for rental when the vehicle is getting repaired. But since it's deemed a total loss, no repairs are going to be done on the vehicle.
Yeah, I totally get that, but I've been down this road many times on the loss of use subject, and the law is very clear on the loss of use subject, where from the time of the accident up until the insurance totals the car is the amount of days that they're entitled to get loss of use. I don't know if you guys have a policy where you do 7 days, or are you saying 7 days like once you decide it's totaled, then you give them 7 days? Is that what you're saying?
7 days in total.
7 days.
Loss of use for a total loss vehicle.
Yeah, I mean, it's not what the law says on this. I've done this, I promise you, hundreds of times with insurance companies, and I send over the case law, and then they always look at it and they say, okay, they go with their supervisor or whatever, and then they flip it and they send us back the full loss of use. And I could send all that language to you to see if anything will change, but it's clear that he's from the date of the accident up until you guys consider it a total loss, he's supposed to get rental coverage. And it's important that the law says that, because, it's not his fault that he lost his vehicle in this accident, and he's waiting for you guys to process the claim, and if this law weren't in place, you guys could just process this claim, 6 months later and say, sorry, here's 7 days of rental coverage. I know you waited around for us to process it, but, that's all that we're going to do. So,
yeah, so once again, I can offer loss of use at $35 per day for the 7 days.
Yeah, so I'm going to send you over. Did you get my last email?
Yes, I did.
Okay, so I'll send a follow-up email with just what the law says on this matter, and if you could show that to your supervisor, and then get back with me if you guys are still going to stand on 7 days, or if you'll change that.
Sure. Thank you so much for your time. I greatly appreciate it.
All right, thank you. Have a good day. Bye. Every time, I'm telling you, like 90% of the time, the insurance company comes back to me and they go, oh, well, it took me a while to get the claim, so we're only going to pay for 5 days because I got the claim just last week. And it's like, it's not our fault, and it's not our client's fault that it took you guys 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, 2 months to process his claim. You don't get to just say, sorry that we're slow, sorry that it takes forever for us to process a claim. We're only going to pay you a week of not having a vehicle. No, it doesn't work like that. The law specifically says that from the date the accident happened up until there's a total loss. So in this situation, there's about 23 days already where the car was, the accident happened, and then they declared it a total loss about 21, 22 days, and usually they give you a couple grace period days, so we can make the case he should give us, 22 to 25, somewhere in that range of a loss of use payment for our client. They mentioned $30, but they want to give $35, whatever. $35 is reasonable every day from the date the accident happened up until they say this vehicle's totaled, or if the date the accident happened and then they finally say, okay, you could bring your vehicle into this repair facility or you could begin repairs, they would need to pay for a rental or the cost of a rental. That's when I say loss of use, that's what I mean. The cost of a rental or a rental. So loss of use for about 23 days in this one. The cost of a rental each day. So 35 days times 23, it's like $800 plus that they owe him for not having a vehicle that long. A lot of people get into this situation, and a lot of car accident victims leave a ton of money on the table because they have no idea that this law even exists, or they somehow miraculously find out about it and they don't know how to enforce it upon the insurance company to get them to pay. This adjuster probably doesn't even know this law exists. But that's why when you have good representation on your side, they know what the law says about how it affects you, why your case should be worth this or worth that, what you're entitled to because of why this accident happened. You know, there's so many different things that you can go into with these accident cases. And I promise you, if you're committed to medical treatment, then it's worth it to have a good representation on your side. If you're not going to pursue any medical treatment at all, like, any lawyer wouldn't want your case anyway, because there's no case that you're not going to pursue treatment because you're not hurt. But if you're pursuing treatment because you're hurt in an accident, it's worth it to have good representation on your side. We have connections with incredible lawyers in this industry. If you would like a free case evaluation, you could text me at 832-925-2030, or you can go to texascaraccidents.com and answer 5 questions. See if you have a case. I will answer any question that you have. You ask me any question, I will answer it for you. And there's no upfront costs if you do decide to proceed with a lawyer. There's an agreement between the lawyer and you that the lawyer gets paid out of the case settlement, no matter what. So they're never going to go after you and say, hey, pay us because we did this work. No, you only pay them through the case settlement for the work that they did on the case. It comes out of the settlement. If you need help with getting medical treatment, law firms have connections with doctors that work in the industry that typically treat car accident victims, and the doctors agree that they will treat those clients for free up front, and then they will get paid back their bills through the case settlement. Okay, so at the end of the day, the legal fees, the medical bills are all paid through the settlement, and then on top of it, you walk away with your own personal injury settlement to do whatever you want to do with it. It's your money. It's the pain and suffering of having to go through all this in the first place. Okay, God bless you and have a good day. I hope that this video is helpful to you.